Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Plat Mercy player. I believe it's going to be Mercy in some brig. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join the Discord in the description below, see what my rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff.
You should be at peak performance levels.
Okay.
No.
So we have ourselves an Ashe, a Torb, a Sigma, a Hog. Ashe is going to be your primary boost target. You are going to get some follow-up on Hog there, and Sigma can get some work done. Okay. That's enough. You don't need to follow him. You don't need to follow him. So I was fine. Here's how this works. Damage boosting your Ashe is good. This Sigma got weak enough, absolutely worth it to triage heal him. No question asked, I'm good with triage healing this Sigma. We don't follow him. You leave your tether on him until the wall / he's been out of sight break for too long, breaks your tether, and that's fine, but we don't actually follow him. We let the wall break our tether, and we don't need to catch him on the other side. We were happy to triage for a moment, but we're wasting time right now. We go right back to damage boosting our Ashe. This Sigma is safe. This Sigma is safe because he's gone behind cover, and he's going to come out right over here, and Anna will figure out how to heal him. Anna will go, oh, I will peek here to heal you, I'll rotate over here to heal you, and that's good. We would rather Anna spends time healing our Sigma. We would rather, in general, Anna spends time healing our tanks while we damage boost Ashe if Ashe is alive. Now, Ashe is a good enough damage boost that becomes true. Unless it turns out that our Ashe player is terrible and has never played Ashe before, that's going to generally be true. So we can do some triage healing to get tanks out of danger, but once the tanks are out of danger, either because we got their health up to 30, 40, 50% or whatever, or because they've gone behind cover, we don't waste more time trying to heal up those tanks. We go back to damage boosting. Us damage boosting Ashe is better than Anna, say, going, hey, I want to look for an offensive shot. That's going to be more total value. Again, it's an opportunity cost thing. Anna does a lot of healing per shot, less damage per shot. We do okay healing, but less than Anna, but we're great on boosting Ashe. We don't quite get her the 200 damage hit headshots anymore, but we still are great damage boosting Ashe. So that's what we want to be doing. Not wasting time on this. This is bad. This is bad. We're just sitting here, wasting time, soaking ult charge that should belong to our Anna, not feeding our Ashe damage and ult charge. This isn't what we want. What if the Anna is not dependable and hits none of their shots? I still think they're going to in this situation because this Sigma isn't in danger. When Annas aren't dependable, usually I think you'll find they're struggling when there's any real pressure on them, not they're struggling completely and just won't hit shots. In this Sigma, there wasn't going to be any pressure to hit this Sigma because the Sigma wasn't in any danger, and at the time, nor was the Anna. So I still expect them to hit this shot. If you're having to play solo healer, you're having to play solo healer, and then maybe you go, okay, I'm still interested, but maybe you adjust your triage threshold. Instead of going, I'm going to triage my tanks up to 30 or 40%, maybe you triage them up to 60% and go back to damage boosting. Maybe you do 70% and then go back to damage boosting because you're still going to hope that she gets some build. If she's completely playing offensive shots only Anna, okay, you're going to have to reverse roles and you're going to have to go more tank heavy than you like on healing. And you're instead going to go, I'm going to play heal bot, but I'm still going to look for specific abilities to damage boost. Be that TNT, be that hog hooks, etc. Even if I don't get to sit on boosting my Ashe or boosting my Echo or boosting my McCree.
Let me get you patched up.
Yeah, I was answering the hypothetical blah.
Damage increase. More aim in that direction. Let's get you that out there.
Why are you boosting that?
Let's get you that out there.
This is good. This is fine. I'd have preferred that you were boosting the Ash until this reload started, not the Hog. Your Hog just got hooked. Your Hog cannot do anything. Like, the order that things are going to happen in is your Hog is going to take damage. From this moment, your Hog is going to take damage before he is allowed to do anything. So you should switch over to healing because you know your Hog can't do damage right now. He just got hooked. Healing, healing, healing. And then he just took this damage, and now you could swap it back to damage boost if you want, because he's unstunning now, right? Like, he does that, you just do that, okay, fine. Now you can switch to healing if you want. Excuse me, now you can swap back to boost if you want. You should have been on healing since the hook connected on him, and now you could swap back to healing if you want, because he might open with a right click or he might open with the hook. If he opens with the hook, you'll have been wrong, and you could have stayed on heals for longer, but if he opens with the left click rather, if he opens with the left click rather than the hook on this hog, which is what you'd normally expect, then you'll have been right and you'll have damage boosted it. So that's how you'd be looking to take this. And you were slow on your toggles there. And your positioning, please adjust it. Please get behind the corner. Mm-hmm. So your Hog is fine. Your Hog is no longer in danger. He's at 60% health. He has a healing amplification on him, and the Reinhardt has backed out of swinging range. Please stop healing him and get back to damage boosting.
Damage boost engaged.
Good.
Let me get you patched up. Your support has arrived.
The fact that Hog then went down here does not change our general principle of how we handle healing versus boosting. Hog went down there because he walked into danger because he had health. Like, that's not our problem. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you think you can win this? Valk is not a recovery ult. You don't Valk when you're behind to try to get back into fights. You Valk at the beginning of fights when they've just started, and sometimes even a little bit in rotation, but you Valk in the early phase of fights when they're still even as a power play. You think of it as okay, we're even at 6v6, and now we're going up with our Phantom +1, our ult on the board. Valk is not we're behind and let's try to save ourselves, get back in it. You can use Transcendence like that. You can use Beat like that. You can't use Valk like that. 60 heals per second is just not enough to get you back in. And yeah, you have more mobility to get reses off, but again, you can't res and do your chain damage boost or heal at the same time. You really want to think of Valk as we do this to go up, we do this to have a Phantom 7th as a power play, not as a recovery ult, not as a defensive ult. Yeah, you just kind of wasted this Valk. Ooh, that was some console aim. How would you go about using Valk on a rotation? Well, let's say that the defending team is here, the attacking team is rotating through, etc., and is now going, we've got to push up these stairs into this. We might go, I don't like it, but we're going to Valk and push in. And yeah, we're using 2 or so seconds of our Valk to finish our rotation in, and then we're going to brawl with the remaining 10 seconds or so. We're going to go, okay, 2 seconds of our Valk to get in, and then we're going to try to fight. And if they retreat from us, that's okay, because there's really nowhere for them to go, and we're going to keep following them. So Valk is one of those ults that I'm going to be less upset if you use it early compared to Blade. Like, if your team is here, and you as Genji go in for Dragon Blade while your Reinhardt Reaper still have to walk up this for 2 seconds, I'm going to be unhappy. If you use Valk to make your team a little more durable for the rotation in, I'm going to be less upset. That's basically what I mean for that. I would not want you to go, the defending team is here, my team is here, and let's Valk so that we can walk all the way like this to get up here. That would not make me a happy camper. But if you went through here, got to here, and then the defending team was here, and you went, I'm going to Valk to get us out of this cave to get here where we can fight them. And if they surrender, they've got low ground, and I'm just damage boosting a bunch of us shooting onto the low ground team. That would be okay with me.
You want to get
Damage amplified.
I don't think you wanted to go vertical there. I think you very much wanted to Guardian Angel to the Torb faster, not vertically, so that you... No.
Damage increase.
Don't super jump just to super jump. It's got to actually get you something. And in a lot of these situations, the more basic tech of Guardian Angeling past a target is going to get you to safety better. Team can't decide if it wants to be in this fight or not. Yeah, so this is bad.
Let's get you back.
Honestly, I'd consider just going to cart and not letting cart move, because you guys aren't in this fight and you haven't been in this fight for ages, because this has been an absolute mess, and you should on comms just be like, go to cart. You've lost this fight. Your setup was terrible. This was bad. And not only have you lost this fight, you've effectively lost both of these fights on second without really taking one. There's no cart management going on here. And you're not manipulating a poke advantage. No, why are you rezzing this? Why are you feeding the enemy team another 900 ult charge? Good, it was only 600 ult charge. Why would you res that? You just delayed your Hog's respawn because we were never actually going to fight them on second. Excuse me, you didn't just delay your Hog's respawn, you delayed your Hog's respawn and you fed the opposing team another 600 ult charge for their ults so that they can continue this snowball.
Right beside you.
Good, good, damage boost that, yeah!
Heroes never die.
This is kind of right. Yeah, okay. Okay. Now we're just gonna throw more ults into it. Unfortunate.
Damage amplified. You need
Okay, you do need to keep your Reinhardt up. It's okay with me. No. It's okay with me if you greed a little bit and go, I want to have my Reinhardt missing 200 to 300 HP when my Valk ends so that I can heal him and get a nice little boost towards my next Valk. But we're not really in the cleanup phase of the fight yet. We're winning, but we're not in the cleanup phase yet. So you can't actually risk losing him. So he's at half here. I'd actually like you to heal him for about 150, 200 HP.
You needed a doctor?
You can't. Why are you swapping off to your full health Torb? You're Reinhardt. You just... No! You needed this. You know that your team basically over-ulted to win this fight. You used Valk, you used Nano, and you used Bob, and you used Torb, it looks like. So, like, you guys, you used Torb. So you used 4 ults to win this fight. You needed to keep this Reinhardt alive. You needed to. You needed to for a few reasons. A, you don't want them to get ult charge. You want to get your healing ult charge back, etc. So, like, you needed to be like, I'm going to keep this Ryan alive so that some of his health when my Valk ends, I get as ult charge. Like, that would be helpful so that we're less behind on the ult bank, so that we don't have to surrender space, so that we can hold this forward aggressive position, which is really important, so that we can get these stagger kills here without trading stuff out. Like, there was no reason to lose this Reinhardt here. No reason. Yeah, res is cool and all, but now you're not going to get the same ult charge from it. If you lose him again. Fine. This is fine. See, there you did your Guardian Angel past rather than the super jump. You had situations to do that in earlier. Back to Ash. Back to Ash. This Torb is fine. Yes, the Torb is not fully healed yet, but please get back on Ash. Good. You can't res her. Back to Torb. Your Torb should have had more health than that. Should not have gone down.
Where does it hurt?
Please leave. Please leave. Please leave.
There comes the stopping cover. Powered up.
Oh boy. You just let that hog look at you. I mean, I guess he's flying through the air, but I wouldn't have been comfortable. I'd have been like, let's use the Guardian Angel for movement. You can't actually get the cover off of it, but just for the movement to not get hit by this hook. Okay. Why aren't you interacting with anyone? You're hiding behind cover, which is fine with me, but your staff isn't on anyone currently. That's wrong. It's fine. You're healing him while he's getting healed. That's fine. He can't damage boost. You're going to swap over to your Ryan to triage. Good.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Go behind cover. Cover.
Let's get you back out
You're
there.
going to have to Valk. You're going to Valk and stay behind cover. Valk. 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 Good. Now you're okay holding Valk.
Damage boost engaged. Where does it hurt?
No? You don't go for this res. Yeah, you don't go for this res. You don't need it. You're on top of your spawn. You'd rather have it for next fight.
The battle continues.
The opposing team is retreating.
Let's get you back out there.
Yeah, get out of here. It was okay to triage, but get out of here.
Nanoboot is ready to deploy.
Let me get you patched up.
Okay, we're about to be ready to Valk.
I've got you.
You can Valk this. You can Valk this because the Reinhardt is not going to be able to cleanly get out. Yes, he could try to tuck in many, but your team is going to get eliminations if you Valk here. So I would like you to do that. Yes, there's double hit scan. Fortunately, neither of them have ult. You might think McCree has ult, so please be aware of where you Valk, but there's plenty of ability for you to Valk and influence the fight from over here and get good chain boosts and such while they're not doing anything. Plus, I love this replay glitch where she's on 2 targets at once without Valking. That's hilarious.
Heroes never die.
Yeah, so again,
Heroes
this Valk
never
timing is
die.
almost right, but I don't need you Valking in response to them using an ult. I don't want you thinking of it as a defensive ult. I wanted you to Valk for your team, for your teams to commit, for your team to commit. And I was okay with it even though your team hadn't aggressively committed yet, because Red had committed into you to the point that it was going to be very hard for them to get out. Even if the Reinhardt went in here, your team can go around and get him, or if the Reinhardt goes in here, it left the 2 hit scan behind him out of luck where they're like, shoot, it's going to take us 2 seconds to get to cover, where you have lots of people that can fire down that lane.
Damage boost engaged. Let me get you patched up.
Go heal Ryan. Keep Ryan alive. You can't let Ryan go down, but you want to play with Ryan's health a little bit so that you can soak a couple hundred healing points off of him for ult charge when the Valk ends. Can't lose him, though. Can't lose him. Can't lose him. I mean, you can. There's situations where it's okay to lose him, but this wasn't one of them. There wasn't a good enough justification to lose him. He wasn't actually under enough pressure to justify it. Why do you still think you can stand here? Don't you dare.
I'm with you. I'm taking care of you.
Swap to Anna. Swap to Anna. Go behind cover and swap to healing Anna. Yeah, Anna is like stuck right here. She's stuck because whatever. You gonna try for this?
Let's get you back out there.
Good.
Where does it go?
Mm-hmm.
Good as new.
Okay. They almost capped this point off of you letting Reinhardt go down when he shouldn't have there.
Point me in the right direction. Let's get you back
And
out
that's not me saying like, oh, but Reinhardt was at 40%. It's Anna's job to heal him, not mine. We went over that at the beginning of the round. So that would like normally be true. But when you have Val going and you've won the fight, obviously at that point your rules change a little bit and you're a little more into you're actually playing with your food and you're intentionally playing with your food a little bit to help you win the next fight. And that's something I want you looking to do when Valk goes on. That's something that matters with your Valk.
Get them off.
60 seconds remaining.
You've got this.
A little early on the swap to damage there, but that's fine.
Heroes never die.
Okay. You'd prefer backline work here. You'd prefer, yeah, exactly. You'd prefer to get over here where you're doing a little more backline boost work until you've got multiple people here. Now you can go back to this because you've got multiple people here that you can boost. You're doomed. Well, okay then.
30 seconds remaining.
This is not your time.
Good. Torber Ash. Yep.
Right beside you.
Why leave? Why don't you feel comfortable here? Like, yes, obviously that rocket happened, but you know where soldiers are shooting you from, and you know also that now you're safe, and you can see that Anna can see you. She'll get you, and you have self-health again, and there's a mini right here. You're fine.
Right beside
Why
you.
risk going through the open, and why go to Anna to get heals when you can continue pocketing your Ashe? Your Anna doesn't need help from you. You're going here to get help from your Anna, which you don't need to do. Okay, but that's not as good as your Ashe.
10 seconds remaining.
There's times when you'll do it because the positioning's better, but that wasn't one of them.
Reach down.
Sending out the welcome mat.
Damage increase.
Okay. There's just not much you can do here besides super jump. Yeah.
I'm overloading.
The duel of two pocket attacks. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I would like you to cheat a bit more with your Valks. I'd like you to not let your Reinhardt go down in one fight, and I would like you to intentionally play with his health where you keep it around half depending on the threat level, so that when it ends you can get more resource to feed you or your Anna towards your next ult to win the next fight. You remember, Overwatch isn't a game of one team fight, it's a game of many team fights. I would also like you to get a little better toggle control in terms of some of that stuff with Hog, where it's like, hey, you can get your timing on the hook so you know how the Hog interaction works. Like when he's being hooked, you might as well be healing him until he would be ready to counterfire. Or when he's hooking, if he's hooking a faraway target and he lands a hook, you know you can be healing him until he's pulled in whatever he's hooked, things like that. There's some positioning stuff. You favor super jumps, at least in the early part of the map, a little too much as a dodge mechanic. Don't get me wrong, having the ability to super jump on command is important on Mercy, but that doesn't mean that it's your best dodge at all times. Sometimes you just want to do the more basic tech to just skip past them because it'll give you better cover, or go right to them because they have cover. You were doing a lot of like, I'm going to shoot above a rock on second. Second in general is bad. That was a team-wide thing, but your res onto Hog was atrocious there, so we can't not talk about that. And honestly, you could have just yelled at your team or yourself, gone to cart, and been like, well, I'm going to stop cart from moving because this is silly. Is that your job? No, but it's better than what happened. We have a Hanzo and an Ashe now. Nice.
Let me get you patched up. Damage boost engaged.
Okay.
This is not the end. Oh,
And then you had the bad res on Ashe on, what do you call it? This one I can live with, but you had the bad res on Ashe on third there after the one fight.
damage amplified.
So Valks and reses are what we're narrowing in on for now.
You needed a doctor? Damage increase. Well done. Get here. I'm here. Damage boost engaged.
I mean, he's in an aggressive position. The Rhine was weak enough. Okay. Why are you back here, though?
Doctor?
I want you to pocket the people in aggressive positions if you can do so with any degree of safety.
Thanks. Stream engaged. Thank you.
Guardian Angel up to your Ana. Boost your Hog. You're doomed. Hot, get it? Okay. Didn't go down to the doom. Okay.
Good as new.
If you'd gone up to the NA, you had a much better chance of surviving that fight,
Someone get that
while still being able to influence the people on the ground. Ultimately, is it still a loss? Yeah, probably.
Your support has arrived.
I mean, but that's to be expected. Two of your people went down before the fight started. Oh boy. This is a Hog resing in our face. That's scary. We go a different direction. I'm good with that. We damage boost the Hanzo. I'm also good with that. How's that Hog doing? This Hanzo is going to deal with any threats that are coming from this direction. I'm worried about if this Hog continued to come around here. I want to be looking this way at least for an instant to be like, did the Hog follow? What's going on over here? I don't need to be looking at my Hanzo, and I don't need to be looking down this tunnel. I don't even need to be seeable by this tunnel. Hanzo can interact with this tunnel while I look this way with cover. And if the Hog does come this way, maybe I do go, okay, shoot, I'll go here. But this is where we want to be looking. Yeah, that would be good. What am I drinking? I am drinking coffee with a little bit of chocolate syrup in it.
Let me get you patched up. Your support has arrived.
Are you going to force this fight with Valk? I'm okay with that.
Damage boost engaged.
Still okay with that. This is still a very Valkable fight. I would like you to win this fight.
Don't stop now.
Unfortunate.
Nano boost administered.
Now, do you want to force this fight with Valk? Now you don't have to.
Damage increase.
Got you in my sights.
Oh, where does it hurt? Bedtime.
Boost the Hanzo. Boost the Hanzo.
Damage amplified. Dynamite.
30 seconds remaining.
You won this fight 45 seconds to a minute ago with Valk.
Heroes never die.
Oh my goodness. Now you...
The payload
Okay.
has reached
Again, your team gets another 45 seconds on the clock if you'd Valked earlier. And you had Valk the whole time.
I'm being attacked.
I am moving the payload.
I will prove myself. Patching you.
Oh, you're right.
Rendezvous at my position.
Feel better soon.
That's actually a good point, Roxas.
Get the payload moving.
Shield holding.
But to be fair, Roxas, this channel, when I first was uploading videos on this channel, it was very much more team strategy stuff. I wasn't in the videos interacting with players or reviewing players play very much. It was much more of a, this is how you play compositions with Stat Banana, this is how Goats works, this is how Cyberdive works, this is how Protect the McCree works, and I have these little icons of heroes rather than having to watch players make mistakes. So I wasn't raging because I could have the icons play perfectly. I could explain how to play very well in the heroes, what the matchup should look like, what should come out, how they should use their ults as opposed to what players actually do, which is rage inducing. Okay, one Brig. We think Brig is a frontliner. That's bad. What are you doing? You shouldn't have been up here in the first place. I don't know what that whip shot was about. I don't know why you thought whip shotting her into a wall was going to do anything. It wasn't going to move her, even if you'd hit. You've activated Inspire. You're done. You're done. And you don't have whip shot. This is annoying. So Reinhardt beats you. Even without a healer, Reinhardt beats you pretty handily now. Reinhardt is not afraid of Brig anymore. This is not original Brig. Reinhardt is quite happy to just destroy you with his hammer. If you get a stun like this, it's cool because it means you will now be able to get a free whip shot on him to knock him away from you while you run away from this giant man that can crush you with his hammer in a couple swings. So please, that's what you'd be looking to do. You're not going to be able to do that because he's unstunned by the time you have whip shot back. Oh, but you do still get it. Good, good. Where are we going? Okay. That was preventable. Why are you standing here shielding? Go behind the cover. Gonna whip shot that? Didn't get it. That's fine. Why are you pushing in front of your team? And why are you spending bash to do it? Everything is wrong with this picture. Don't you dare. Good. Fine.
Du mår bättre snart.
See that which is
60 seconds remaining.
glad you're enjoying them. Yeah, I'm not loving the bashes that we're seeing either, but hey. Okay.
That should be better.
The repair packs have been better than I'm used to from most metal rank brig players, though. But yeah, the bashes have not been happy, and there's been too much frontlining.
Now or never.
Almost.
Shield's taking damage. Let me patch that up. Shield's taking damage. Let me patch that up.
Shield? Shield? What? We didn't shield and we wandered back into our line of sight. Weird. You don't need to back out. Your rally is still going. You still have 2 packs. Why are you challenging this Widow? You hit that. You go for that, which I'll live with. Please turn and shield. Please turn and shield. 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 What are you doing? What are you... I know you're trying to line up a whip shot. I understand that's what you're trying to do, but you can do that while you're... Oh, well, your shield is up. You just poured 2 repair packs into an Orisa who unsurprisingly went down, and one of those was your last repair pack. That is why you don't double repair pack people unless you have a very specific thing in mind. You'll sometimes double repair pack a flanker when they're about to leave your line of sight to go deep on someone, because you won't be able to heal that repair pack them again, and you want them to have 4 seconds of healing that they're receiving, not 2 seconds. You don't double repair pack tanks most of the time, especially tanks you're right on top of, because if they get eliminated during the duration of the first repair pack, it's not like you get refunded for the second repair pack. It's also not like you're not going to be able to apply the second repair pack after the first is out or just before the first runs out if they're surviving through the first one. Mm-hmm.
I have taken the pain.
The payload has reached the
If you look at the window long enough.
This makes perfect. Not
Funny,
to mention
Bloom,
some
funny.
wins and loses.
Is that it?
Get up here.
For your safety, please move behind the barrier. Seconds remaining.
Spotted them.
You see it. It's to your left. It's harder to see on my screen than it was on yours. Sorry, I was interested in what Temporal Rage was doing there. Oh, look, there's a Reinhardt. Still right there. Nope. Nope. You counterstun that, your team eliminates him, everything is good. You don't counterstun it, your team loses the team fight.
This is not the end of the world. Feel better.
Again, no counterstun. That time your window to do so was a little shorter.
30 seconds remaining.
Time grows short.
No problem, Hockey Jones. Glad you're enjoying it.
Shield holding.
Yeah, if you figure out how to manifest those laser eyes, definitely let me know. That would be quite the brig buff.
Let me patch that up.
10 seconds. Special attack.
What was that? Come on.
10 seconds remaining.
He's already teleporting. He's already teleporting before your cooldown's even over, before you've really got your crosshair on him. What are you thinking you... No. No.
More bet just not.
Not convinced that person was missing HP. Okay. You're gonna stun now. You're gonna stun and then leave. Okay, you got a swing. Fine. You only needed one. You've activated Inspire. Nope, nope, we don't need to keep fighting in this. We don't. Why are you back in this with 70 health? Your Inspire was rolling, you done your job. With Brig's Flail, it's misleading. Brig's Flail is not for her to go, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna brawl. No, no, no. You use her flail to activate Inspire, and then you sort of stay out of the fight until cleanup, unless someone's diving, someone you're protecting, like your Anna, like your Ashe, etc. Not a frontliner. I know, there's overtime to worry about, but okay. And that's gotta be the end.
This is all
Okay, this is a Mercy review, so back to Mercy. Good enough. Okay, so on Brig, you do a lot of bash for movement. Bash for movement can be okay, but you've got to be more careful about it because it is a pretty long cooldown. I mean, it's, for her kit, it's a pretty long cooldown, so you've got to be more aware of it. You also do a little too much getting close in on the fight when you just want to really get close in on the fight to finish up fights that you've won or to proc Inspire. You're not looking to get close in there and actually be brawling with Reinhardt's, and you're a little too willing to do that. We saw that on first, we saw that on third, we saw things were a little bit better on second. That covers Brig well enough for now. That changes when you have Rally going. When you have Rally going, you get to be stupid aggressive because she just changes how she plays pretty heavily because Rally does a lot of armor generation. With Mercy, though, since that's who you played more, that's who we're going to focus on. I want you to get better Valks. And by getting better Valks, we talked about how you can greed Valks, how you can go, I'm going to keep my Reinhardt at a threshold where I can heal him the rest of his HP after my Valk ends, after we've won a fight. Like, you can do that. But what I really want is I want you to get your Valk use timings better because that's the more fundamental building block skill for Valkyrie and for Mercy, where you have to understand you want a Valk basically at the beginning of the fight. You can Valk right before the fight starts when it's guaranteed that the fight is going to start, or you can Valk right as the fight is starting. You can also Valk if you find, hey, the fight is evened out through respawns, but you're looking to Valk in even fights to go up. You do not want to try to Valk when things have already gone down the toilet. Once people are already eliminated, once your team is already missing a lot of health, once the other team is already caught you in a grab or already pushing you with a blade, has really gotten your team low. Valk is a power play ult to enable a strong push. It is not a reactive ult to try to get back into things. So please Valk as a power play to go up with your phantom 7th player known as your Valkyrie. The other thing is we want to fix your reses. Please don't res in fights that are clearly lost unless they are last fight where you have to take them, like the end of third here. Please don't do that. The res on Hog on second was very, very, very bad, and I'm surprised that happened. And also, I want you to be aware that, hey, in fights that you've won, you don't always have to hit the res. This res that you hit here on Ashe in third round, that wasn't a very good res, and the reason that wasn't a very good res is you'd won the fight, you were cleaning up the fight, your Ashe was going to come out of this respawn right here in probably 6 seconds or so, and that puts your res on a much longer than 6-second cooldown, and they were not going to push in the next 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. So no reason to do that because it means you potentially won't have your res when they actually do push in the next fight. So you want to res when you can res to speed up your next push offensively. You can res because you're behind and you want to get back into it, or you can res when you are even to go ahead, but you don't want to res unless it's last fight when you're 2 down, 3 down, when you've lost the fight, or when you've hard won the fight. When you're hard winning or hard losing the fight, you're generally not going to want to res. Sometimes when you're hard winning the fight, you'll still res because you're right on top of their spawn. And even though you're hard winning the fight now, you don't expect to continue to do so. But those are the things I want you to focus on. So focus on them one at a time, work through them. Don't try to implement it all at once. Go, hey, I'm going to work on my Valks. I'm going to use 5 to 15% of my brain power while playing, trying to get better at that. It's going to be great. Then I'm going to work on my reses, recognizing that I want to res in even fights or res to bring fights back to even, maybe res to put us up ahead by 1. I'm not looking to res when we're up by 3, up by 2. I'm not looking to res when we are down by 3, unless, hey, I'm resing the Anna that's going to give us the nano blade, and we're still somehow going to win this in the what'll then be 4v6 situation. So there's specific exceptions, but those are your general rules. Similar thing, Mercy is looking to influence the even fights. She's not looking to Valk to save a massively lost fight. She's looking to Valk when you are, you know, even to go up, and she's looking to do it early because obviously it's better because of how it changed when it's a 6v6 than a 3v3. Okay, after that, move on to your brig. We talked about your bashes. We talked about your brawling too much. We talked, maybe we didn't talk about, but obviously don't stare down widows in the open. Widow, don't do that, please. Cool. Okay. If anyone has questions, go ahead and throw them up in chat now. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. So let's take a quick look here. Okay. It can be, Valk. It can be. Scrims next week. Oh, you guys are really on it, which is good. It means you guys are enjoying the scrims. Yeah, I can schedule scrims for next week. I'll put up a schedule feeler, but yeah, I'll go ahead and schedule scrims for next week, guys. Since you did seem to quite enjoy that. Okay. If there aren't any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. And I think I've got a couple videos to upload, but then I'll do some more streaming later this afternoon/evening. Yeah, I have some stuff to upload that I'm catching up on. And then, like I said, I should be able to do at least one more stream this afternoon or evening. Thanks, guys. Temporal 2. I did enjoy it too. That's true. Temporal out.